Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Janu and I talk about all things intentional and low impact living. So today, this is another episode of the Minimalism series. So we are talking about habits for a clutter-free home. We all can relate to this. We all, bring in stuff into our home. Next thing you know, stuff is everywhere. Our closets are a mess. We have stuff all over our kitchen counter. So hopefully all these tips that I'm going to be sharing with you today can help you in your minimalism journey. So the first tip is really simple, but it's hard to do, is to put things away where they belong. So whether your keys should be hanging by the door, whether your purse should be going in your closet, whether your shoes should be, going in the closet as well. Everything tends to have a place in your home. If you don't have a place in your home for that item, you should create it, because when you put things back where they're supposed to go, the chances of things getting cluttered or messed up are very unlikely. I'm so guilty of this too. You walk home, you're tired, you just throw your shirt, on a chair or something like that, and next thing you know, there's clutter everywhere. But if I just would have put that shirt either in a laundry basket or hung it up, it wouldn't have been clutter. So I think it's just being intentional about putting things back where they belong and making sure that everything has a home. My second tip is to make your bed every morning. Now, again, it seems so simple, but we're all guilty of not making our beds, including myself. But I think making your bed just kind of sets off the day to a good tone. So you're like, okay, I accomplished one thing. I made sure one space of my home is very clean and orderly, and it just kind of helps you create better habits. So for me, I'm all about just being intentional and creating habits. And there's a saying that says the way you do one thing is the way that you do everything. So even if it's just something as small as making your bed, those habits really do carry over to how you do your work or how you put effort into different things in your life. So for me, I'm always trying to find ways to create great habits that will carry over to other areas of my life, because I think it's really important to create habits that are intentional and that are good for you and are good for the planet and just make your life a lot easier. The next tip is to just clear counters and clear desks and clear spaces such as those. So it's easy to come home, you have your mail, maybe your keys, purse, wallet, whatever, and you just kind of throw it on the kitchen table. But when you decide that you're not going to have anything that doesn't belong on the kitchen counter, it really makes you put things away and put them where they're supposed to go. For me, I hate cluttered spaces. When you have like a cluttered desk, for example, it's just harder to focus. Or when you have a cluttered kitchen counter, like it's hard to cook when you have mess everywhere. So it's important to keep counters and desks clean and clear of clutter. And it just makes me feel a lot better as well. Like when my desk is clear, like I feel like, okay, I can actually get work done. But when there's clutter around me, I feel like I can't focus because there's just stuff everywhere and it's distracting me. I feel like the less stuff you have, the less distraction there is, and the less you're overwhelmed about clutter being in your home. And I would even recommend just taking maybe 5 or 10 minutes out of your day to just clean up, whether it's the end of the day. So for me, usually after I cook dinner, I'll just clean off the counter. I'll just tidy up a little bit. I don't do deep cleaning, but I'll just do a little bit of tidying, because if you let it go for long periods of time, it's definitely going to build up. So for me, I just try to do a little bit every day, and then I will deep clean once a week. And so then it's less work, and it just like makes you feel better when you're waking up in the morning and you're waking up to a clean home. So my next tip is to implement a mail system. So I know we all get mail. What I try to do is, one, get a lot of my mail through email. So whether it's my phone bill or whatever the case may be, I try not to have bills sent to my home. I like e-bills only because it's just creating waste, one, and two, it's also just creating clutter. Like you don't need all that. Just go online and see what your bill is and pay it. And I think it's important to just be intentional about the things you're bringing into your home and to try not to bring clutter and mess into it. And if it is a physical document that you need to keep, you can create a sort of filing system. So whether you get like a folder that has everything in it, or I know a lot of times you can like scan things. There's apps on your phone that you can use as a scanner, and you can just save that into a folder on your phone or on your computer, and it just makes life a lot easier, because when things are organized and they're not all over the place, things are a lot easier to find when you're looking for that phone bill or looking for that document. It just makes your life a lot easier. And again, the more you're bringing into your home that you actually don't need, and the more you're bringing into your home that's not fulfilling a purpose, the more clutter you're going to end up having. So for me, it's all about finding ways to be intentional about the things I'm bringing into my home in the first place, because that's where clutter comes from, is when we start bringing all these things into our home. My next tip is to minimize overfilled spaces. So things become cluttered because we have a lot of stuff. I'm guilty of this as well. Everyone is. So I think when you decide that you're gonna either stop bringing things into your home or get rid of items that you have, it definitely helps to minimize clutter. I know a lot of us can go through our closet, and I'm sure there's things in there that we haven't touched for years and it's still sitting there. So I think it's just making sure that you don't have items in your home that don't bring you joy or serve some sort of purpose, because if it's just sitting there and you're not using it, you can easily just donate it or sell it. My next tip is to have a donation basket available. So you can keep this in your closet, in your bathroom, wherever works for you, but just having a bin where you can just put items that you no longer need, that you know you haven't touched in a long time. So those are items that you can donate. For me, I try to do a little audit every couple months to ask myself, what do I actually need? Do I actually need these pair of shoes that have been sitting here for 6 months, or can I donate them, or can I sell them? So I think it's minimizing the amount of stuff that you have in the first place, because things only become cluttered when you have a ton of stuff. You know, decrease the amount of stuff that we have, we can definitely have a lot less clutter. My next tip is to reset daily or weekly. So like I said previously, I like to kind of tidy up for 5 minutes, 10 minutes every day. And then usually on a Sunday, I'll do a deep clean. So like a deep clean is more of like you're cleaning the floors, you're vacuuming, you're cleaning the tub sort of thing. But on a daily basis, I just make sure that I put the dishes away. So I have a dishwasher now, which I am so grateful for. It is game changer. It saves a lot more water if you use a dishwasher. So I'll let my dishes kind of pile up for 3 days. It's just me. So I'm not going to use a dishwasher every single day, but I'll put my dishes, I'll rinse them in the sink, I'll put my dishes in the dishwasher, and then usually every 3 days I'll run the dishwasher. But again, I try not to leave dishes in the sink. I try to put them directly into the dishwasher, and then when the dishwasher is full, I'll run it. And then I make sure to clean my counters every day. I take some, cleaning spray, wipe it down, and I just make sure that everything's kind of just tidy. So when I'm going to bed, the counter's clean, the kitchen counter's clean, the bathroom counter's clean, everything's just clean. So you wake up and you don't feel overwhelmed and you're not stressed out about all this clutter and stuff that you have in your home. And even like if you have a sweater that's laying on the couch, like I try to make sure to put that away before I go to bed. So I think it's just coming up with certain habits that you'll stick to and doing it every day, because the more you do it, the more it becomes a habit, the more it becomes a routine, and the less you have to think about it. The more you kind of continually do things every single day, it just makes life a lot easier, and everything has its place, and it's not as easy to build up clutter in your home. The next tip is the 1 in, 1 out rule. So for example, if you're buying 5 new pairs of shoes, you should donate 5 pairs of shoes, because then if you're not getting rid of things that you already have in your home and you're bringing more into it, you're just gonna have more clutter. But again, do you really need those 5 pairs of shoes? It's all about buying things that serve a purpose and actually make your life easier and just have less clutter. Like for me, I try not to have too many of the same thing. I'm like, do I need 5 pairs of running shoes? No, but if I'm buying a new pair, or let's say because I get a lot of free things, and which a lot I'll say no to, but if I get something that's cool I want to try out because I'm going to do a partnership with them, I'm like, okay, I can donate, this pair of shoes that's similar to that, because the more you bring into your home and then the more duplicates you have, the more clutter that you're going to create. So it's just all about being intentional and having things in your home that you actually use and that actually bring you joy. For me, it's all about being an intentional consumer, intentional shopper, making sure that I'm buying things that I actually need and that serve a purpose, but then being intentional about the things that I already have in my home as well, asking myself, do I need them? Do I use them? And if not, I need to get rid of them, donate them, or sell them. I hope you found these tips and habits helpful. This year, I'm really about just creating really good habits and sticking to those, because once you create habits, they become routine, and then you don't even think about it. They're habits that you do and you don't have to think twice about it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.